Part one, the restaurant growth accelerator system from 10,000 feet. The magic of what we're doing here is we are pulling together several marketing things, several digital marketing things to work as one. And what you're really getting right now is the state of the art for restaurants. Okay, now I like to do this every so often. For those of you that know me, know that I've talked about restaurants before. I've talked about systems where everything sort of fits together. But I'm going to tell you guys, it changes enough that we have to do this every 6 months. And we like to make sure that we are giving you the state of the art when it comes to this, because I think this is one of the biggest opportunities, whether you own a restaurant or whether you're helping restaurants. This is a growth sector that I think is going to be huge as we keep going. So let's talk about what this system is from 10,000 feet. The first thing is, and I want to show you guys kind of what we charge as an agency on this too, by the way. But the first thing is something we call our review machine. Now, anybody here that's with me live know why the review part is the foundation of everything for us when it comes to restaurants. Anybody have a clue? Anybody have a clue? This is interesting, and I really believe this. If you guys are like me, you go online and you're shopping, maybe you see an ad for something. How many of you here, when you see an ad for something online, if it's like a Shopify store or whatever, how many of you will jump over to Amazon and look up that exact item before you buy from that particular place, that Shopify store or whatever? How many of you will do a quick little open your Amazon app and you'll go over to do that? Yeah, and so I want you guys to understand, one of the things that a lot of people are doing, we're all being very trained to do this right now, is even if you want to buy from a particular store online, you're actually going to go over to Amazon and see if they have a storefront over there. You're going to go to Amazon a lot of times and see if somebody else has something. The idea here is we live very much in a review-based society if you're online shopping. Now, that does not necessarily translate to every local business niche, however you want to say that. Doesn't translate to all of those things right now, but restaurants, 100% it's one of those things. Give me a number one if you agree with me on that. Restaurants are something that absolutely lives into the review world. Like, if you've never been to a restaurant before, the first thing that you're doing right now is you are going and you are looking for reviews for it. You're looking to find them. You're going to Yelp, you're going to Google, you're going to Facebook, you're looking for some sort of review right now that's important. So one of the things that we understand is, if we have a machine gun right now, if we have a machine gun, and that machine gun is our, what we call our restaurant growth accelerator, the bullets that we put in that machine gun are reviews. Does everybody understand that? Give me a big yes if this makes sense. And so what I want you guys to understand is, as an agency, as somebody that owns an agency, the first thing that I offer businesses is to get their review system in order. Now, they may have a marketing machine gun already, right? Like, they may be working with someone else. They may have internal staff that does their marketing. I know that if I can get their review process, their review machine built, that it's going to give them the ammunition they need to do their job, even if I'm not doing the full job. Give me a number one in the box if that makes sense to you. So I want everybody to understand, I believe when it comes to restaurants, especially restaurants of the caliber that I'm working with, reviews are the ammunition that power everything. Reviews are the gasoline that you put into the car, if you want to use a different analogy. That's what it's all about. So the first thing that I offer, and I typically charge $300 a month to build this system and to maintain this system for restaurants, is something we call a review machine. Now, all this is, you guys, is I make it easy for restaurants to ask for reviews and point people in a direction where they can give the reviews without having to click 90 different things, without it being confusing. I give restaurants the ability to do that, okay? I also run the tech that turns those reviews into things that can be used in a very convenient way by the restaurant, by the entity that we're working with. And so for $300 a month, we basically license out the machinery, set the machinery up, license it out to the businesses so that they're getting reviews. Now, the really cool thing about this, and I want to make sure we make a point of this, the really cool thing about the review machine is this: when you get reviews right, what else do you get right as a side effect? This is something some of you will know because you've been with me for a little bit. Some of you may not know yet. What are some things that you're going to automatically help without even having to think about it? Yeah, search engine optimization, SEO. And so what I want you guys to understand is if you want your restaurant to rank higher for certain keywords in Google, when people are looking for new things, like, hey, I'm in Nashville and I want to find a steak place, or I'm in San Diego and I want to find a seafood place. The idea is when reviews are coming in, you are going to climb the search engine rankings. And here's what's really great. If you do it the right way, it's not just your Google My Business listing that's going to climb in the rankings. It's also your website that's going to climb in the rankings because that's a signal. And so for $300 a month, guys, what I'm usually doing when I set up this review machine for people is not only am I helping them get more reviews and more ammunition for marketing and a system for that, I'm also helping them climb the search engine. And so we'll go into how that works in a minute. The next thing is that's $300 a month. For $1,500 a month, not only do they get the review machine, but we're also setting up a way for them to have social content and a way for them to have a website that is not bloated, that gets the job done, that ranks well, that shows good on mobile, that is protected in terms of, like I said, secure socket layer, SSL, all the things that search engines really enjoy, but a lot of people aren't really thinking about unless they're working with folks that are in the know, right? Give me a yes if this makes sense to you. A lot of the stuff that search engines care about with websites that the normal person would not care about or even know about, those are the things we do with website. We also add social content. So for $1,500 a month, we build and maintain your review machine. We build your social content for you. We build your website and maintain your website for you. That's what we do there. From there, we add on one more layer for the really, really advanced restaurants that are wanting to really take off fast. Now, most of the restaurants I work with are already taking off because they got good food, they got good service, they've got good ambiance when you go sit down. But the idea is we set these things up to give every single business, every single restaurant we work with, we set these things up so that we get them 6 months, 12 months head start on all their competitors, okay? The idea here is this. When we add in the lead collection and the email SMS thing, we take out a lot of problems that restaurants have, which is slow days. If I ever have somebody that has a slow day and they've got a way to contact their past customers, slow days go away forever. Give me a big yes or number one in the box if this makes sense so far. You kind of see the three packages. Now, whether you own a restaurant or you're an agency and you're helping restaurants, I wanted you to know what we're doing from a top level view, but also what I charge to do those things, okay? What I charge to do those things. So if that makes sense so far, good. What we're going to do now is we're going to dig into each of these pieces so that you can see how this works. Give me a big number one if you're ready to dig into all of these pieces, so that you can get into it. Okay, so we're going to dive in. We're going to actually go through this. We're going to talk about how to build up this marketing machine from scratch. And I'm going to show you how we build each of those four pieces. Give me a number 4 in the box if you have acknowledged that there are 4 pieces of this puzzle. And then we're going to be going through 4 pieces of this. And like I said, I like to know what's coming. I like to sort of have it segmented in my brain, how this comes together. And I want you guys to understand, the vast majority of our clients are in at the $1,500 level, like 80%. Give me a yes if this makes sense. 80% are at the $1,500 level, okay? 20% is split, but a lot of the 20% is up at the $3,000 level, and the smaller percentage is down at the $300 level. The reason that, even though we intro at the $300 level, the reason that we don't have a lot of people there is because of one simple thing, is because a lot of those $300 people that take that package end up graduating and upgrading to the bigger packages very, very quickly because they see the results very quickly. Does everybody understand that even if you live at our $300 level, you usually don't stay there long? And that's by design. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's talk about what we're doing here so we can talk into this. Okay, so the big thing that I want you guys to understand here is this. I want to dig into something that is incredibly important before you get started. Okay, so I want to dig into this so that you can kind of see something, and I want everybody to be looking at this. Can you guys see on your screen right now? You guys should still see the slide right now, but right now, can you guys see a quick little sheet? Quick little sheet. This is it's actually a Google Doc. It's a doc, but can you guys see a Google Doc? Now, the reason I want you guys to look at this Google Doc real quick is before we get into the stuff that we're doing, I want you guys to understand some of the things that we're actually like locking in. We have a logo. We have the brand's colors, primary and secondary. We have the brand's typography, primary and secondary. We have target audience, brand personality, top products, links to pictures for social. Now, the idea behind this, you guys, is we want to go in and get these things. Everybody understand? We want to go in and get these things for businesses that we are helping. So I wanted to do this right now so that you guys could see some of these core things. Now, so I've got an example here. I went and searched Nashville lobster roll, one of my favorite searches, because anytime I'm in Nashville, I'm going to Nashville this weekend, so I'm probably going to go somewhere and grab one of these. Nashville lobster roll. Okay. Now, with Nashville lobster roll, I have several different things that come up, right? But what I'm looking for my personal interest, I'm looking for businesses that fit into a certain criteria. If you got our agency program, you're going to get those criteria a little bit later today. You may have heard me talk about those criteria the last little bit. But as I'm going through this, one of the places that fit the criteria was the Rutledge. Can you guys see the Rutledge on your screen right now? Give me a yes if so. Give me a yes if so. Okay? I want to make sure that we've got this. I'm not going to do all of this in front of you right now, but I want you guys to understand what I'm trying to do here. The first thing that is on my list is I need the logo of the Rutledge. Let's say the Rutledge is my client. I need the logo for the Rutledge. So I go in here, and obviously we can click to website, and it's going to open up this. Can you guys see the Rutledge website? Let me ask you a real quick question. Do you think I can improve upon this website even though this business is doing good? This is not a terrible website, by the way. I don't want anybody to think I'm knocking this website. But do you think that I can improve upon this with some very, very simple things and help them with the SEO, help them with speed? Let me ask you a question. What is a problem right out of the gate that you guys see with this website? It's a video. It's a very strange thing for us to have a video as our centerpiece. Why is a video a problem? By the way, not always. Not always. Yeah. You guys, how many of you are seeing problems with this website? Yeah, it slows down. The video slows down load speeds. I know why they've got it. I understand. We've got things down here. This is for multiple places. There's a lot going on here. Okay. Here's the thing. What I understand about this is we can do good things for a business that is already doing good things. Would you guys agree that just by looking at the reviews for the Rutledge, we got 693 reviews. It's got a 4.6 rating. They are a $50 to $100 per meal restaurant. Would you guys say that even though I have complaints about some of the stuff they're doing, would you guys say that they're doing some things right? Give me a yes or no. Listen, y'all, this is a business that's doing some things right. Okay? Doing some things right. And I want everybody to understand that when I'm talking about these businesses, I'm not knocking the work ethic here. Okay? I just think we can do better, but we're the professionals. We should be able to. So here's the thing. Right away, I'm going to grab this logo. So I'm going to open this image in a new tab. Here is our logo. We are going to save this image as. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a folder on my desktop that says the Rutledge. Everybody got what I'm doing here. This is literally my process. This is not going to be perfection. This is not something that I practice before this call. This is literally what I do or what my team does every time. I got a folder that's the Rutledge. That's where it always starts. We've got the Rutledge logo. Cool. Now I got the logo. So I got the logo here. Now, what I know that I'm going to need to do with this, you guys, and this is incredibly important, is I'm going to have to massage this logo a bit. So I'm going to go over to Canva. I'm going to create a design. I am going to type in header at the top. And I'm just going to use this email header, which is 600 by 200, and then it's going to open up something that looks like this. Give me a yes if you can see this email header that we've got on the screen right now. It should be just blank white. Everybody good with this? Like I said, I like showing you my process. I think that that's a good thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in, and I'm going to go to my desktop. I'm going to go to my Rutledge folder here, and we're going to take this and we're going to drag it onto the screen. Everybody see the Rutledge on the screen right now? Give me a yes if you can see that, just so that we're on the same page. Now, the idea here is, you guys, and I want to be very, very clear about this. The idea behind this is it looks fine right now, but something I'm going to do here pretty quick will show you the issues that I'm going to have with this. We go to background. We make the background black. Does everybody see the issues with the logo here? Does everybody see the issues with the logo here that I'm going to have? It's a dull logo, but it's their logo, and there is some style that's being done into this. I'm not trying to do this, but the idea with this logo, the problem that I'm having right now is this is not a transparent logo. And so the idea is I want to go in and I want to do some things. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to go in and do a background remover in Canva, and I'll show you what happens. So does everybody see what happened when we did the background remover? Give me a yes if so. Now, that's not going to be as super apparent yet until we go and we change our background back to white. Okay. Everybody see what we got here. So we're going to stretch this sucker out. Okay. Now, what I can already see with this logo is that we're going to have a lot of dead space with what I've got here. So I'm actually going to resize this canvas. This canvas is 600 by 200. We're going to change that to 600 by 100. Okay. So 600 by 100, I could probably do 600 by 75 actually if I wanted to. So 600 by 75, and we're going to actually rock that out. Okay. We're going to resize this design just to show you what I'm doing. Now that may have screwed things up, but we're about to see. I got a little bit of an issue here. I'm going to have to make this a little smaller to get that full thing there. But we're close. Does everybody see how that's fitting in? I just have a little bit of dead space over here. Give me a yes if you see that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and custom size this again, and we're going to take it down to 500 by 75. Cross our fingers. Like I said, I know this is annoying to watch somebody do this, but I want you to see the real process. Is that okay? Like, this is just one of those things that you're going to run into every so often, and I want you all to see this. Give me a number one if this is helpful. Give me a number one if this is helpful. Okay, so not perfection here, but it's pretty damn close with very little issues on both sides. Okay? Very, very good. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to copy this page. Does everybody see that now there are two of them? Give me a yes. Okay, so now we got two of them, you guys. And what I want to do here is, and I know this is crazy to think that I spend this much time on the logo, but I want you guys to understand this is one of those things that if you get this right, so much later is easier. So with this, okay, we got some things here. This R is going to be a problem. I already know that. But the idea is we can go in and we can do some things that we could actually change this up. So we could edit this thing up, and we can do some things with this that are important. I'm going to do something here in a sec that I think is incredibly important here. But I want to show you guys this. Can everybody see the two images? Give me a number 2 in the box if you can see this. Give me a number 2 in the box if you can see this so far. Okay. So far, so good? Okay. So far, we've got kind of what we need here. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to select this second logo, and we're going to go to Duotone, and we're going to go to Custom. And we're going to change some things here. And then I'm going to change the background of this second image. So this second image, I'm going to go to this background here. Everybody follow what I just did. Everybody follow what I just did. All I did, you guys, is now I have a logo that can be used on both light and dark backgrounds. Okay, so we're going to click download PNG. download PNG, and we are going to, let's see, we're going to do a transparent background, and we are going to download this to our computer. And I'm going to put this into our Rutledge folder. If we open it up, just so you guys can see this, it's hard to see over the gray, but does everybody see that we now have two transparent logos that we could use if we needed to? Give me a yes if so. We now have two transparent logos that we can use. I'm going to move the original logo into this logo folder so that we have all this. I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to put original. That gets you the idea. Okay? So I got the logo. Now, I got the logo. You can upload it to this thing if you want to. The next thing is my primary colors. It's black and white. Would you all agree with that right now? Black and white is sort of their colors. Would you agree? If you want to kind of get a sense of this, go to some of their images just in here, and you're going to see that the aesthetic of black and white really does fit even the internals of their restaurant. Would you all agree with that? That what's on the website actually does match a lot of the internals of this place if you were to look at it. Gray, black, white, they're very, like, they're into that kind of aesthetic. So that's the idea. So black and white. Now, fonts, I'm not super worried about fonts yet. Okay, so we can actually skip over that. That's getting into this core stuff. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that when we get into this whole target audience and brand personality that we can get some of that pretty simply? I want you to sort of get into this and get to their website. And I want you to look, and this is interesting. A lot of times you can find this stuff here. So you can go to the About, and they'll tell you kind of what they are. Everybody see this little About Us section, and most of the really, really good ones will have this because they do this before they even open. This is just part of restaurants that they have to have this. So located Franklin, Tennessee, sophisticated, upbeat vibe, modern approach, classic favorites. Everybody understand that. Everybody understand modern approach, classic favorites. So they're just putting a spin on, they're putting a spin on some core things. Their target audience, if you really look at this, you guys, you can always hop into the reviews and kind of get this, but their target audience is really going to be sort of your young professionals, and that's where we're at. Young professionals. Okay? We can go deeper with this, obviously. They have great cocktails. Let's actually put this in our target audience, though, not top products. Now, does everybody understand that the business can give you some of this too? I just like looking a lot of this stuff up. Top products, you guys, how you look at top products is jump into their pictures and see what's being, like, see what's actually being, like, taken pictures of, right? And so, like, you look at this stuff, you can see a lot of the things in the food and drink that continue to pop up over and over and over again, right? And so with this particular place, you're going to see their lobster roll pop up over again. You're going to see like this. See, there's leather lobster roll. There's their mac and cheese. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure we get the lobster stuff in there and cocktails. Okay. Lobster roll, appetizers, cocktails. Okay. Link to pictures for social. We'll get into that in a little bit. But so far, does everybody understand the things that we're collecting? Does everybody understand the things that we're collecting here? The only other thing that I'll tell you that we do, that I do a lot of, is when I am signed up with a client, especially for the advanced packages, the $1,500 and up, I am literally going to go in here and I'm going to download images of the food from our Google reviews. Give me a number one if you got that and you understand what I'm saying there. We're going to go in. We're going to have a folder in our folder. So in our actual folder here, I'm going to go into our Rutledge folder and I'm going to put food pics. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to find pics like this. I'm going to save image as, and I'm going to put this in food pics. We're going to go back here. We're going to save this as in food pics, right? So there's some of our apps. We've got some drinks. And I'll probably do a separate folder for this because, yeah, this is different. Drinks. We're going to save that there. I'm going to spend an hour doing this. Give me a yes if you follow me that I'm spending an hour just downloading what I think are great images. I'm not going to make you guys watch that, but I'm literally going to go through here, find what I believe are great images, and I'm going to download these both to my food and drink sections. Okay, so like I said, I'm not going to make you watch that, but so far, does everybody understand my prep? By the way, I don't get like ridiculous with this, but does this make sense so far? Does this make sense so far, just so that we're on the same page of how I'm kind of prepping once I get somebody? I'm taking myself an hour and I'm trying to pull as many images that I think are good from the Google listing. I'm trying to pull the logo. I'm trying to think, okay, what is the vibe of this place without me having to walk into it? And I'm trying to get that down. I don't go nuts with it. I don't try to build like a full-on brand book right away. I'm just trying to get that down to start. Okay? Yeah, they're a client at this point. Okay? They're a client at this point. Keep in mind, this particular training is all about what we do when we're in the restaurant actually working with it. I don't mean like actually physically in it, but we are working for this particular customer. Okay? So far so good. I know that took a lot of time, but does everybody understand the importance of taking that hour and getting assets downloaded for use later? Give me a yes if so. Give me a yes if so. It's incredibly important that we download the assets that we need to do the work that we want to do later. One of the things that drives me crazy about folks when they're just starting their agency and they're like telling me how much time they're spending with me to do this stuff, to do the kind of things that I'm showing you, is a lot of folks, when they're building their website, they'll go pull images and have to do that. A lot of folks, when they go do the social media, they go pull images and do that. No. Pull your logos, pull your colors, pull your typography, pull all of the images and assets you're going to use later now. Does everybody understand that? Give me a big yes if you understand. Give me a big yes if you understand that. If instead of having to dig on the web every time I need something, I've got everything already sitting in a work folder, that's a very good place to be. All right, let's get into the next section and let's talk about what we're doing next.